तिमान्विं प्रयुक्ते तय दर्शनीया वयवैरुधारा विलासहासेक्षितवामसूक्तैः हृतात्मनो हृतप्राणांश्च भक्ति अनिच्छतो मे गतिमान्विं प्रयुक्ते तनीया वयवैर्वधारा charming, avayavaihi, whose limbs, udara, exalted, vilasa, pastimes, hasa, smiling, ikshita, glances, vama, pleasing, suktaihi, whose delightful words, hruta, captivated, atmanaha, their minds, hruta, captivated, pranan, their senses, cha, and bhaktihi, devotional service, anicchataha, unwilling, me, my, gatim, abode, anvim, subtle, prayunkte, secures. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swamy Prabhupada. Translation: upon seeing the charming forms of the Lord, smiling and attractive, and hearing His very pleasing words, the pure devotee almost loses all other consciousness. His senses are freed from all other engagements, and he becomes absorbed in devotional service. Thus, in spite of his unwillingness, he attains liberation without separate endeavor. Please repeat. Upon seeing the charming forms of the Lord, smiling and attractive, and hearing his very pleasing words, the pure devotee almost loses all other consciousness. His senses are freed from all other engagements, and he becomes absorbed in devotional service. Thus, in spite of his unwillingness, he attains liberation without separate endeavor. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. There are three divisions of devotees: first class, second class, and third class. Even the third class devotees are liberated souls. It is explained in this verse that although they do not have knowledge, simply by seeing the beautiful decorations of the deity in the temple, the devotee is absorbed in thought of him and loses all other consciousness. Simply by fixing oneself in Krishna consciousness, engaging the senses in the service of the Lord, one is imperceptibly liberated. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Simply by discharging uncontaminated devotional service as prescribed in the scriptures, one becomes equal to Brahman. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. This means that the living entity is, in his original state, is Brahman because he is part and parcel of the Supreme Brahman. But simply because of his forgetfulness of his real nature as an eternal servitor of the Lord, he is overwhelmed and captured by Maya. His forgetfulness of his real constitutional position is Maya. Otherwise, he is eternally Brahman. When one is trained to become conscious of his position, he understands that he is the servitor of the Lord. Brahman refers to a state of self-realization. Even the third-class devotee who is not advanced in knowledge of the Absolute Truth, but simply offers obeisances with great devotion, thinks of the Lord, sees the Lord in the temple, and brings forth flowers and fruits to offer to the deity, becomes imperceptibly liberated. Shraddhayanvitam, with great devotion, the devotees offer worshipful respects and paraphernalia to the deity. The deities of Radha and Krishna, Lakshmi, Narayana, and Sitaram are very attractive to the devotees, so much so that when they see the statue decorated in the temple of the Lord, they become fully absorbed in thought of the Lord. That is the state of liberation. In other words, it is confirmed herewith that even a third-class devotee is in the transcendental position, above those who are trying for liberation by speculation or by other methods. Even great impersonalists like Shukadeva Goswami and the four Kumaras were attracted by the beauty of the deities in the temple, by the decorations and by the aroma of tulsi offered to the Lord, and they became devotees. Even though they were in the liberated state, instead of remaining impersonalists, they were attracted by the beauty of the Lord and became devotees. Here, the word vilasa is very important. Vilasa refers to the activities or pastimes of the Lord. It is a prescribed duty in temple worship that not only should one visit the temple to see the deity nicely decorated, but at the same time he should hear the recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, or similar literature which is regularly recited in the temple. It is the system in Vrindavan that in every temple there is recitation of the Shastras. Even third-class devotees who have no literary knowledge or no time to read Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita get the opportunity to hear about the pastimes of the Lord. In this way, their minds may remain always absorbed in the thought of the Lord, His form, His activities, and His transcendental nature. This state of Krishna consciousness is a liberated stage. Lord Chaitanya therefore recommended 5 important processes in the discharge of devotional service. 1. To chant the holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. 2. To associate with devotees and serve them as far as possible. 3. To hear Srimad Bhagavatam. 4. To see the decorated temple and the deity, and if possible. 5. To live in a place like Vrindavan or Mathura. These 5 items alone can help a devotee achieve the highest perfectional stage. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita and here in the Srimad Bhagavatam. That third-class devotees can also imperceptibly achieve liberation is accepted in all Vedic literatures. The sense the Bhaktivedanta purports Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Here Kapila Muni is explaining about his deity forms and how the devotees they are attracted to these beautiful and charming forms of the Lord. Tair darshaniya avayavair udara. So all the deity forms are charming forms of the Lord. They're all Satchidananda, and all deity forms are attractive to the devotees. Devotees do not have mundane calculation that our deities are beautiful and some other deities are not beautiful. A proper devotee, he sees that all deity forms are blissful. They are Satchidananda Vigrahas, original forms of the Supreme Lord, manifested for neophytes like us. So we should not think that we should not have some mundane calculations. Radha Govinda, the most beautiful forms. Similarly, Radha Krishna Chandra, most beautiful forms. And Radha Vrindavan Chandra, most beautiful forms. How can you say all are most beautiful? In spiritual life, see, in material world, if you say most beautiful, that means there is nobody else. That's the highest. In spiritual world, in this deity forms, because all are Krishna, all are most beautiful. So here he is explaining Darshaniya, charming forms of the Lord, then Asekshita. These forms are smiling and attractive. They are smiling and attractive. And Vama Suktair, actually Ikshita, Asekshita, they are smiling, and Ikshita means glancing. As soon as the devotee goes in front of the deities, we are having darshan, but at the same time, the deities are also seeing the devotees. It is not one way. That means you are only seeing and deities are not seeing. No, deities are also seeing us. And when they see, they are glancing on the devotees. They are glancing on the devotees. Sometimes that's why devotees have to pray to the Lord. My Lord, may your glance come upon me. He is already glancing, but a devotee wants to ensure that Krishna's glance is on me also. Asekshita, Vama, very pleasing. The decorations, the forms of the Lords are very pleasing to the devotees. Suktai, and hearing his very pleasing words of Krishna. The devotees, they recollect these words, they recollect the prayers of the pure devotees, and so they are hearing his very pleasing words. We may recollect Bhagavatam words, and that is nothing but hearing Suktai, the pleasing words of the Lord. Hrutatmano, a pure devotee, loses himself, loses his consciousness. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as soon as he had darshan of Jagannath, says, here is the son of Nanda Maharaj. And with great ecstasy, he lost his consciousness. Hruta pranams, his senses will be freed from all other engagements. That means what? He becomes very inactive? No, he is bhakti, he is absorbed in devotional service. And then anicchato me gatim anvim pravukte. Anichata, even unwillingly, he attains liberation without separate endeavor. If somebody comes to the temple and appreciates the deity's beautiful and attractive forms, he is imperceptibly liberated. At that moment where he is absorbed in that form, he is in a liberated stage. That stage is called Brahman. As Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate, he transcends the three modes. He comes to the platform of Brahman and he enjoys and that relation with Krishna. And so that's the beauty of this deity worship. So recently we had this Brahmotsav festival. All through the festivities, every day, there is a beautiful decoration of the deity forms. Each day there is a variety, the kind of dresses, the ornaments, the flowers, profusely decorated deity forms. This is what Prabhupada wanted. And the idea is, as soon as any devotee goes in front of the altar, immediately he becomes attracted. He develops little bit of a attachment to the deity forms. And as he continues to attend these darshanas, darshanarati, and then all those aratis, gradually he develops more and more attachment to the deity forms. So the devotee, anybody who becomes a devotee after coming in touch with this movement, they should develop their attachment to the deity forms that they are seeing every day. So the modern technology has allowed all of us to take darshan of these deities anywhere and everywhere, and spend some time in carefully seeing the Lord scrutinizingly, starting from the lotus feet and then gradually rising up to the lotus face. Prabhupada says anybody who spends time like this, scrutinizingly, he says, is actually studying the Vedas scrutinizingly. This is the super excellent, the advantage of the form of the Lord. Just by remembering his form, the devotees will become imperceptibly liberated. So Prabhupada is saying here, there are three divisions of devotees: first class, second class, and third class. And Prabhupada is saying even the third class devotees are liberated souls, because they are absorbed in seeing the deity and recollect the deity's form throughout the day. Actually, whatever may be our service, whatever may be our work, whether we are inside the movement or outside, the goal should be how to remember Krishna always. This is the pure devotional attitude. So devotees, they can recollect the form, or they can be absorbed in Krishna's service, or while doing services, chant Hare Krishna. Like that, a devotee always want to remember the Supreme Lord. So, Jai Radha Govinda Ki Jai. So here it is said, Darshaniya Avayavai. the various limbs of the deity. So devotee, he gradually, first he should focus on the lotus feet, get accustomed to seeing that lotus feet elaborately. There are the toes of the feet, lotus feet. Sometimes there are some little nails on the toes, and then there is a bend. Krishna is so lotus feet, there is a small bend, and then he sees the ankle bells, the whole. So he should get accustomed to seeing the lotus feet of the Lord. And then the pujaris would have offered tulasi with a little sandalwood paste. That also he sees. Sometimes the pujaris offer more than one, particularly to the Ussavas, Vigrahas, maybe 3 or maybe 2, but they are little small because Ussava is small. See, all these details is carefully studying. A devotee should be accustomed to see the details. Just not rush to the lotus face, but then spend time on seeing the details of darshaniya avayavair. One has to see all the various aspects of the Lord's form. That scrutiny liberates the devotee. When he is doing that and when he is absorbed in that, he is actually liberated. That's why Prabhupada is saying even the third class devotees are liberated. Now, what is this third class? That is Kanistadhikari. Then second level is Madhyama stage. And the first class is the Bhagavatottama. The first class is Uttamadhikari. Kanishta means he is very attracted to the deities, but he doesn't know how to relate with other Vaishnavas. In his world, other Vaishnavas, other devotees are not there, missing. He thinks me and Krishna, me and Guru. Other practicing Vaishnavas, other advanced Vaishnavas are not yet very much in his consciousness. Particularly we see the visitors to the temple, they don't bother about the devotees. They're very attracted to the deities, and that also because they have not understood how to have darshan. Very quickly they sometimes they come and then they do something like this and then they walk off. They kind of okay, I had a darshan, and then they go away. That's also good. As soon as he focuses on Krishna, then he is liberated imperceptibly. But the devotees who are practicing seriously, they understand the value of other Vaishnavas. And as soon as he realizes the value, he is progressing towards the second stage. That is the Madhyama stage. He serves the other Vaishnavas. He takes inspiration from them and he tries to take association of such practicing Vaishnavas. And if somebody is already serving full time and is dealing with other Vaishnavas, very carefully he maintains friendly relations with all the devotees. In the Vaishnava community, there are these divisions. There are juniors, and there are seniors, and there are equals. This distinction is there. So, every devotee, he learns this art of dealing with the seniors, and dealing with the equals, and dealing with the juniors. This particular art is very important. Dealing with seniors, sensitive. One important point is one should never get envious of the seniors. Oh, he is very comfortably situated, and we're all struggling, and no, such feelings should not be entertained. A devotee should feel that I am fortunate to be in the midst of senior Vaishnavas, and I am actually enjoying all these facilities because of the sacrifice and devotional services of my seniors. This is called gratitude. In Telugu, Krutajnata. This is important. Nectar of Devotion says, if anybody is grateful or gratitude, that is a symptom of intelligence. Only intelligent people can be grateful. Unintelligent people think everything is, they're self-absorbed. Only their glories will be audible in their heads. Others' glories will not enter their heads. In their brains, always their own glories are going on. They cannot recognize others' glories, other devotees' contributions. So that stage has to be transcended. And one has to develop the intelligence to see, yes, I'm been blessed by the presence of all the senior devotees. Now the senior devotees also have a great responsibility that they should always be encouraging and supporting the junior devotees. Junior devotees should feel that the senior devotees are approachable. They should be approachable. And senior devotees should give time in case there is a request. Particularly the authorities who are authorized to deal with all these things, they should give time and listen to all the junior devotees. Junior devotees should feel excited to work under senior devotees. And similarly, senior devotees should ensure that the junior devotees are never discouraged or never, talk in such a way that their enthusiasm is gone. This is called the Vaishnava etiquette. There are responsibilities in every stage. Simply stamping ourselves as senior devotees but not able to contribute to the spiritual life of the juniors and others, then it is simply designation. There is one more designation. There is one upadhi. We have come here for sarvopadhi vinirmuktam, to free ourselves from all upadhis. But here we acquire one more upadhi, that I am the senior. Just because of number of years one will not become senior. He should be an inspiration to the Vaishnava community by his seniority. Anybody who is, so senior means he has to set an example of a proper devotional attitude. He has to set an example. So like this, there are responsibilities are there. So then the juniors happily, they will abide by the orders of the immediate authorities, and they enthusiastically they serve. And then coming to equals, same time, let us say all got initiated. More or less, they're all equals. And then, so you can have friendly relations. In all these relationships, Krishna consciousness should be enhanced. One should not have mundane relations with Vaishnavas. The relation should be on the basis of Krishna consciousness. And that means whenever devotees come together, their discussions are centered around Krishna, centered around service to Krishna. This is important. Then only a devotee rises to the above one more, that Madhyama platform. He knows how to deal with the other Vaishnavas. And then one important quality of Madhyama is he distinguishes non-devotees and devotees. He distinguishes who are the innocent and who are the advanced. Non-devotees, people who are talking all kinds of nonsense. Non-devotees, nowadays in the social media, horrible people. They make all kinds of statements, all kinds of demoniac attacks. Madhyama, what he does is simply he avoids. That's all. He doesn't give them the attention. You should not go on watching all these videos where they are criticizing deities, criticizing Krishna, criticizing Prabhupada and Parampara and Harinam and all that. In the name of preaching, Prabhu, we should counteract all these attacks. We should counteract. So to counteract, I have to now hear. And then so a devotee gets into this kind of actually, we are not interested in all. If there is a service for somebody to do that, that's a different issue. Why everybody has to put their head into all this? Somebody who is authorized to put his head, he can put his head, and that head will be protected by Lord Chaitanya. But if everybody puts his head and thinking that, Prabhu, we have to counteract, we have to preach and this and that, gradually he will lose his head. He will become influenced by that hatred, influenced by those comments. This is the danger. Our goal should be here, as it mentioned, Shraddhayanvita. Increase our Shraddha on Krishna, on the holy name, and on this darshan. It appears to be, just by having darshan, one is liberated. Prabhupada is concluding the purport that third class devotees can also imperceptibly achieve liberation is accepted in all Vedic scriptures. We may have some doubt whether they will also achieve liberation. Prabhupada is confirming in the final word. And then Prabhupada is saying here the word vilasa is very important. Vilasa refers to activities or pastimes of the Lord. A devotee should not think deities don't have any activities. They are only standing. They don't have any activity. No, they have pastimes. Here it is mentioned, vilasa. Vilasa hasekshita. They are glancing and they have pastimes. And they do unlimited pastimes with all the devotees. Throughout the day, the deities are there in the devotees' minds. And when the devotees are serving the deities are there with them. And the Lord is infusing buddhi, intelligence, how to serve nicely. If somebody is thinking, I want to satisfy their lordships, I want to satisfy Prabhupada, and then he is trying to serve, then he will see nice dictation comes. Very intelligently he does his service. If some service is not properly done, that means he has not developed that level of love for the deities. Otherwise, one's mood will be how I can nicely do some service. Whatever that may be, that service. That service he wants to do very nicely. That is love. Love means through service. This is important. In Gaudiya Vaishnavism, love means action. Do something for Krishna. Now this is the season where we all can express our love to Prabhupada by participating in book distribution, marathon. Anybody wants to show his love for Prabhupada, now this is the time. Of course, throughout the year, devotees are expressing their loving attitude by serving nicely. But this is a special season where you can take a set of books and then go out and distribute the mercy of Prabhupada in the form of his books. And by reading those books, one important thing that happens is Mahattamanam Abhidhana. One comes in contact with the words used by a pure devotee. Prabhupada says these great devotees have a dictionary of words. Mahattamanam Abhidhana. In one place, in the first canto, Prabhupada explains this word. The particular words that Krishna uses or a pure devotee uses, they have great potency. So, for example, here Prabhupada is saying the word vilasa is very important. So, now this is the word that Prabhupada, Krishna, Kapila Muni has used. And Prabhupada is using English word translation. That's also very important. So, devotees, they are interested in collecting all these, compile this dictionary of words, and he recollects all these words in his day-to-day world. In fact, that's what generally happens. Any ISKCON devotee, you go and talk to him. When conversing, you will see the similar words comes out. Krishna consciousness, material world, spiritual world, all those things. For example, recently when the new American president, in his first term, when he became the president of America, and he's talking to a small kid, and he's saying, what do you want? We all want to, go away from this material world and go to the spiritual world. And we were thinking, wow, this word is from Prabhupada. This material world, all these things are not there in their scriptures. See? So these unique words indicate very special significance. Devotees should be attracted to such words. And Prabhupada says, I have spent time in selecting these words. If Prabhupada has spent some time in selecting, how much time we should spend to understand and to remember Krishna, to remember Prabhupada. And all such words are there in Prabhupada books, and distribute these books. Just by learning these words, learning these sentences, Prabhupada says one word can change his life. And that's a fact. There are instances where one line has changed the life, course of life of somebody. So that's why we should freely, extensively distribute these beautiful words. Here it is mentioned, Vama Suktair. The words of Krishna, words of pure devotees are extremely valuable. They are like jewels that devotee should collect throughout his journey and go on relishing those words. Their suktas, the prayers, or the words, or the sentences, and that will be Anichito me gatim. He is only doing all this, but he will be imperceptibly liberated, although Anichitaha is not desiring liberation, is not struggling to come out of some problems. but is automatically such things will happen if he is absorbed in this suktai, in these words and statements of Bhagavad. We'll stop here. Any questions?